Hello and welcome back to this second round of videos on Kinetic Request. My name is Derick Larson and I work in support and training. And what we'd like to do with this second round or 200 level of videos and articles is look at improving the cleaning request that we created previously. Specifically, we're going to be looking at getting data from a different source. So for a Kinetic Request, that source is most often going to be a data store. A data store is a special kind of form where we can store data to be used in other forms within the system. So let's take a look in this video about creating a data store. So we're going to start in our normal spot here, services, and move over to data stores themselves. So if you click on Home and click on Settings, here you can see we've got data stores listed. I'll select this here. So like many things in Kinetic Request, we're going to have a couple of different places where we can create things. One is here within the data store, then the portal or the bundle with this new data store. And also we can do this from within the consoles, the space console specifically. We could create a data store form here. I prefer to do it from the portal or bundle. There's some extra features that are available here that make it a little easier. So I'm just going to click on New Data Store form here. You can see we've got a name, slug, and description. So we'll choose sites. We're going to be making a list of sites to use in our cleaning request form. We'll create. So one of the nice things with data store forms, one of the things we want to do is use some searching and displaying of data. So through the portal and the bundle, we can automatically set up a table here of values, and in further videos and articles we'll be looking at bridge model construction, and that some of that can be done directly from here, so that's pretty nice. But the first thing we have to do is actually put some things on our form, and we'll go to our good friend here, the form builder. So while we've created the data store form, and obviously it looks like any other form, we haven't added anything really to it. I'm just going to add a couple of pieces here. We don't need to walk through all of the options for adding information to forms. We've done that in previous articles and videos. So I'm just going to put one text field on a page here just for site name and save this. Behind the scenes, before the next video, I'll flesh this one out a little bit more. But what I really wanted to show you here was that as you do this and then close the tab, the portal's self-aware enough to know that, hey, my data store form has been updated. Do you want to make some changes and see them here? So we've reloaded the fields, and we can see that now that this new site name field has been added to the possibilities to display things in our search table. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure and add this on here. By default, we'll get all kind of the basic behind the scene ones like created at and updated by, plus the handle and the label that are part of the system. So we can see those pieces there. Now we've got our form, a very, very basic form. What we'd like to do next is just add some data to it. Easiest way to do that is here in the breadcrumbs is click on sites. And we've got an option for a new record. Now there are all of those other options through the console of doing a preview and displaying like that, but I'm taking advantage of some of the built-in features from the bundle here. So I'll click on new record. I can see I just have a very basic piece of information. We'll click on just add Minneapolis as a site and submit, and then you can keep going here and adding new records as you go. One other thing that's very nice about data stores is that I have an option, if you click on these three dots over here, to import or export CSV files. And that's a great way to either get the data out or just to, if you're loading up a bunch of data, you can put it all in at once with the import. And this also is the way to get back to that configure dialog that we were on just a few moments ago. All right, so I've got one record in my form. We've looked at a little bit on how to display, and searching and displaying is a big deal for a data store form, and that's done through indexes. So indexes are the one piece where we do need to go back to the consoles to take a look. So I'm going to go to my list of data store forms here. We'll refresh that screen in here, and I can see my sites are available now with a little icon that says, hey, I have some unindexed definitions or fields. So if we take a look at the data store form here, I can see it looks again, just like any other form. I've got my general tab. We'll set a status of active here. I'm going to ignore the submission label. Don't really have any fields to use there yet. Like every other one, we can add in some attributes. We have our security policies that are possible. We don't have categories because these aren't meant to be displayed to the customer specifically. They're meant more for background data. Here is my submission. So here's the one submissions that I've created. And then here's the one we want to take a look at, indexes. Now you can see that all of those basic behind the scene fields already have indexes. They're all built, they're ready to go. But the one field that we added on here, site name, is still in a status of new and is ready to go. There isn't really anything specific or difficult about creating indexes. You just, anything that's in a new status, if you click on build indexes, it takes care of that for you. It just takes a few moments here. We only have the one field and one piece of data, so it should finish up fairly quickly. If you wanted to create something a little more complex, we have this option to add a new index definition. There we can see it's gotten built. Here, if you wanted to add one that's a combination of site name and created by, so you could have kind of a date there. Well, that's pretty much all of the basics about data stores. Hopefully that gets you started. Take a look at the article. There's a little more information in there, and of course more information on community. And I hope to see you in the next video.